Okay, there we go. One more time this week, eh? One more time. I think, yeah, we were just like doing shit last time, if I remember correctly. It was just small things in terms of story. So you're just getting accustomed to the whole thing. We had that study session and all that. It was a hidden scene, apparently, or something. Which I did watch that. Well, not hidden scene. Deleted. That's fine. It was deleted. It was a deleted scene. Which I did watch. And at first, I'm like, why was this deleted? Like, this should have just been in the game. But not that I was not been spoiled on anything, but like, because you couldn't find it with just the scene. There was someone who recorded their reaction to it, and they already played it, and they were talking about some things that I don't know about yet. But not even big spoiler. But I understand why that scene with Sojiro and Alice isn't in the game. It makes sense why it's not. At the same time, it's kind of like, that's weird. Because I was wondering why Sojiro wanted a broom and a bunch of shit so bad, and we don't get to see that conclusion. Or what Alice saw outside the library window. Like, those are brought up. Those happen, and it's like, okay, anyway, moving on. Don't worry about it. And it's like, what? But, what? Alright, okay, sure. Guess just forget those things happened, but alright. But besides the point. Now, let's get back into it, shall we? I've been itching to see where the story goes from here, so let's find out.
仕方ないでしょ。この方が効率良かったんだから。
Right, Alice. Aoko was somewhat flirting with Sojiro, which was very strange, but you know what? Sure.
あんた、横にいないとすぐ間違えるし。
I didn't check. Audio's good, right? I gotta check that. So, audio's usually decent, but like just in case, I'll do a little sound test. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. That should sound good. That should sound crispy. Alright. Audio's fine. Thank you. I'm Minatos. Yeah. That's great. Thanks. Alright. Michael stood up as she lashed back at him. Not deserved, but...
なんか昔みたいで久しぶりに集中できた。
That's somehow is that depressing? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. You should be
こ
on
れが異例
focus.
中の異例っていうのが本当に残念だ。
An exception among exceptions. Yep, yep.
余裕あるじゃない。その分じゃ今日のテストだけじゃなく、アリスとの話し合いもうまくいきそうね、宗十郎。
Damn, bro. Just like that, we'll ace everything. Imagine that. Wow.
あ、それはもちろん。
I hope they don't bring up the Alice conversation here from the deleted scene, because, bro, that'll ruin a lot here. His cool response caught her off guard, and for a moment, she was at a loss for words. She meant it sarcastically, and yet he responded with a warm smile.
方針変更だ。まずは近くで話しかけてみるよ。嫌なことはいずれ終わるって分かったから。
You'd think. But some people are just that stubborn. But you'd think they can't stay mad forever. You'd think. Ako remained in a state of silent shock as he spoke and rose to his feet. He couldn't help but feel a reluctant respect for what seemed to be his newfound confidence and competence.
とりあえず今日は一人で帰ってアリスと話してみる。
What do you mean go home? What do you mean go home? You live here.
青崎は放課後生徒会だろ。
Oh, today. Right, because it's like in the morning. Right. Right. He was right. It was their last meeting before winter break. Normally would have waited until the meeting ended, or else gone straight to his part-time job. This was a part of Ako's plan to make sure he and Alice were never alone in the mansion together.
待った。まさかあんた、一人でアリスとやり合うつもりなの？
Yeah.
別にやり合うつもりはないぞ。し合っても勝てないだろう、アリスには。
Yeah, your chances of dying are increasing as you speak, Sojiro. His reply made complete sense, which floored her.
でも青崎がいたら話が複雑になるのは目に見えてるんだ。そんなわけで今日はゆっくり飛び丸の相手でもしててくれ。
Dang it. Sojiro's got some insight? Dang it.
本気？
You serious? He was being tested, but not nonchalantly nonetheless. Knowing how great a situation really was, Dago was not sure how to respond to his apparent lack of concern. The morning light coming through the window marked a stark contrast between the two. Which stood bathed in light, which lurked in darkness. That went without saying. The silence lasted only for a brief moment. Staring at him gravely, she said,
そう。なら止めはしないわ。
Alright. That was all she had. Dry tone hid the significance of the pregnant silence, not revealing the slightest sign of discord.
なんか怒ってないか青崎。
Are you sure?
別に。それで何か考えはあるの？下手な考えは通じないわよ、あの子には。
Hit him with the Sojiro Riz or something, I don't know. Sojiro furrowed his brow in deep thought. He knew it would be hard to get closer through talk alone. In fact, it felt nearly impossible.
言葉で落ちないやつは物で釣れ。
Don't listen to Konami. Don't listen to Konami, bro. Kinomi does not know what he's talking about. Kinomi had been the voice of wisdom and folly for him countless times in the past. Incidentally, Kinomi had been referring to Alqua at the time he shared the parallel wisdom. Sojiro had the distinct impression that trying to buy Aozaki kindness with gifts would not end well.
だいたいアリスの趣味もわからないじゃないか。考えてみると今の自分と彼女はまるで接点がない。
You most certainly... I mean... Maybe? I don't know. From that deleted scene, which takes before this, they seem to have a common interest in the forest. Taking care of it. Someone crossed his arms at a loss.
いつものことだけど、何も考えてなかったわけね。
He'll work it out.
うん。でもまあ、あれこれ考えなくてもいいと思う。
Yeah.
アリスにはあれこれ説明するとか、分かってもらおうとか、そういうんじゃなくて、なんていうか。
He pondered intently as he tried to put his vague thoughts into something concrete, but did not spend much time in thought. But not he concluded.
要は、俺が彼女を好きかどうかってことじゃないか？
Sure. You articulate that which is often so hard to say with surprising clarity and calm. It was certainly a prerequisite for a task he hoped to achieve. He had no hope of making her appreciate him with words, or with acts of giving, with the exception of recuperation. No, that's not recuperation. It's a word. He simply wished to get to know her better because he liked her. That was his honest, uncontrived intention, and it reflected the purity of his heart. But that was in his best interest, so now it was another story altogether. Calculation and compromise, selfishness and conflict. Purity such as his often irritated people who believed that morals went against human nature. Or rather, people who were inevitably forced to believe it. Akko silently walked away without responding to what Sojiro said. Long hair swung from side to side as she passed him.
青崎？
Huh? Knowing her strangely cold manner, he called out to her. However, she was already opening the door to leave.
下でシャワー浴びてくるから、あなたは自分の部屋に戻ってて。
Okay. Her words lacked any expressive inflection. In his confusion, all Sojiro could do was nod.
いいけど、やっぱり怒ってないか青崎？
You seem mad. She returned to her face as he spoke. And it was not the typical irritated look to which she had grown so accustomed.
そうね。あんた流に言えば、 多分私は怒ってる。
But why?
何に対してのものかはあんまり言いたくないけど。
Hey, hey, I asked why and you told me not to say you didn't want to discuss. Hey, that's fair. Alright, don't tell me. Poor Sojiro did not even realize that he himself was the reason. Oh, you poor innocent boy. She looked at him, and for an instant, he witnessed an emotion on her face in which he had never seen the likes of before.
じゃあね。これが最後になるかもしれないから、お別れぐらいは言っておくわ。
You were expecting him to die here. Alright.
あなたはアリスを甘く見すぎてる。
Nah, we'll be fine.
でも、それが同時にあんたの強みなのよね。私たちには毒にしかならないけれど。
The door slammed loudly shut behind her. Steps were audible as she walked away on the other side of the wall. The corridor must have been nearly freezing without any central heating. I could seem perfectly comfortable. Alright.
なんで私から出ていくんだ。
Why are you leaving first? Why are you the one leaving first, actually?
順番が逆。普通先に出てくのはそっちじゃない。
You just realized this. Could probably kicked Soldier out of her room. Once again, the wooden door closed with a slam. The window was not as cold as he had expected. Not quite as bad as a freezer, but at least. To be. Ah, school. You think you're not gonna miss it, but then you realize, oh shit, I kinda do. Second day of exams ended and Soja was on his way back to the mansion. The road grew steeper and the woods thicker as he made his way up the familiar slope. He would not call it not a hill, but a mountain. Simply because it took over 20 minutes to climb. This did not sit well with Sojiro, for whom a mountain was something that could not be overcome so easily. The road was paved, for one thing, and the canopy overhead let in plenty of sunlight to guide the way. The inclines were especially steep, and no animals lurked in the underbush. There was no chance of losing his way, no reason to worry about getting lost.
情けない。まだ未練ばっかりだ。
That is crazy, you're still bitching. Sojiro quietly reprimanded himself for getting so wrapped up in his own little world. In the past few weeks since moving here, he had been constantly comparing the town with his former mountain home. Can we be streaming? Yes, Kumi, I am. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Need to tell him to go to bed? Aha, I see. With a smile, alright? Make sure it's with a smile. Of course. We do it all with a smile around here. Yes, good. We happy around here. We happy around these parts. It's a little bit up and down sometimes, but we're happy overall. Only you would not get upset over it. But in recent days, since meeting Haoko, this had happened, you've become rather hung up on differences. It's been positively 100%. Yes, sir! That's what I like to hear. Spread some positivity. That's what I like to hear. You can't move forward unless you spread some positivity sometimes, you know? Alright, I won't hold you any longer from your sleep. I won't hold you any longer. You're free to go. Good night, chat. You spread your positivity. You're free to go. Reasons for this eluded him, but he knew that Aoko was a force that could not be stopped. This naturally made him want to quicken his own pace. The mansion where they both lived was the antipathy of her lively personality. It stood out like a sore thumb, even in a town like Misaki. Some people said it was haunted, no ghosts per se, but it wasn't inhabited by magicians, so her claims were closer to the truth than they could have possibly known.
そういえば、幽霊と魔法使いっていうのはどっちが常識外れなんだろ
Good question, Sojiro. I think magicians, because people wouldn't believe nowadays that ghosts are real. So I'd say magicians would be more surprising. Lost in contemplation as he was, the boy failed to notice how his own lack of familiarity with city life played into the equation. In any case, none of his pondering changed what needed to be done. Tomorrow was the last day of exams. He only had a little longer until Alco stopped taking responsibility for his safety. If possible, today was going to be the day when the mansion's owner accepted his continued residence there. So he just slipped between the trees and circled the mansion and walked down the naturally tree-lined avenue that led him to the front door.
Yoshi.
Alright. Taking a deep breath, he stepped across the threshold. The drawing room was where he expected to find Alice. Alright, there we go. However, he found himself face to face with a most unexpected scene. A few steps in, he arrived at a large foyer extending from the mansion's entrance. But one thing was clearly out of place. This foyer mansion was like a hall in a medieval castle. It's illuminated by the cold winter sun casted down from the skylight, and aided by artificial light. The wooden tiles smelled of the outdoors. And there was Alice, dressed all in black, huddled against a column so enormous it resembled a sharply cornered tree trunk. The mansion was quite literally supporting her frail body. Like a mother's lullaby, or a gently rocking cradle. The heavy atmosphere within this old building suppressed even the slightest stir. It's as if warding away any disturbance to her slumber. There she slept in the shadows of home. Hey Alice, what you doing? Hidden away from outsiders, her sleeping figure was enough to mesmerize anyone who laid eyes upon her. I mean, I guess. Sure, yeah, sure. Someone instinctively looked up at the ceiling out of sheer awkwardness. He wanted to surprise her, but not in this way. His slender frame lay asleep by the fireplace. The scene was as pure as a painting, yet hard on his heart at the same time. Her slumber seemed breathless. She was too still, not even a hint of movement. And yet, slumped against that frigid column under the cold winter sky, happiness appeared to be her blanket. A passerby would not be blamed for thinking she was in that most peaceful state of eternal slumber. Death. I mean, probably not, but... Yo, Alice, you should, wake up. Sojiro spoke to himself as he gazed idly upon her. Bringing her a blanket or something warm did not so much as cross the boy's mind. Instead, odd as it sounds, the first thing he thought to do was to go prepare some tea. He made sure to be as quiet as possible as he opened the drawing room door. At the table, waiting for him, were 3 pills. Pills? They were the medicine Alco required him to take every day when he arrived home. Put down the vaguely sweet pills and continuing on to the kitchen, he selected a box of tea from among the many in the cabinet and brewed enough for 2 people. Alice was still asleep when he returned to the foyer. Careful not to make any noise, he crouched close to the ground. Very carefully. Don't make a noise. He was startled by how cold the floor felt for his pants. He thought it would be warmer here by the fireplace. But then again, he recalled how Oko had referred to it as a useless hole in the wall. It was likely the case was that neither she nor Alice knew how to use it properly. Taking the keycards from the tray and placing one in front of each of them, Sojiro carefully pulled his textbook on classic literature from his satchel.
青崎、怒ってたからな。
Bro, you're just gonna... I mean... Sure, I guess. Just let her sleep, but alright. You can still see her angry face from this morning. As her anger was still as much a mystery as the unusual look he saw briefly come across her face. In any case, one thing was certain: you need to start studying for tomorrow. To Aoko's instruction, today's exams went well enough, but tomorrow's would be an even more formidable challenge. After how angry she was this morning, he could not expect her to help him again tonight.
そのくせ点数悪いと怒るし、別に青崎が怒る筋合いじゃないと思う。
Right? He complained under his breath as he cracked open his textbook. Apparently, he intended to spend his time in this fashion until Alice finally awoke. The sound of the pages turning was the only audible noise in the grand hall. There's no ticking of clocks, rustling of leaves to disturb her sleep. In a few hours, Sojiro quietly rose to his feet. The light that filled the floor was beginning to turn from white to red.
そろそろバイトの時間か。
Once again at Alice as he stretched his stiff back. She slept in perfect stillness just as she had this entire time. So arched his brow in speculation. He had no idea what her normal sleeping schedule was like, so he had no idea as to whether he should wake her.
いや、青崎も帰ってくるだろうし、いらぬ世話かな。
Yeah. So reaching the end of a long train of thought, Sojiro gave a quick nod on his head and took his leave of the mansion. Today, work was a shift at the Chinese restaurant in Misaki's shopping district, the Mad Bear. Ooh, I love me the Mad Bear. Noodles have been made by someone with an obvious preference for garish colors, or garish. The OJ apron was emblazoned with a cartoonish polar bear slashing a walk in two with its powerful claws. The design resembled warning signs about wild animals seen in the mountains and stood out Misaki for its one-of-a-kind originality. This was the Chinese restaurant, the Mad Bear. Besides its name and logo, the restaurant was the type of cheap, hole-in-the-wall dive that could be found anywhere. Faced competition from the ever-increasing number of chain restaurants, though it had managed to last long in other dining spots, and received rave reviews on a regular basis. The Mad Bear prioritized the personal touch, was going to its local client LA, and thus made a point to offer home delivery. It earned the affectionate monikers QKS, the Quick Killer Stop. Making these deliveries was Sojo's responsibility for the time being. Placing Misaki within cycling distance fell under his domain, and beyond that was handled by a more experienced staff member on the legendary 50cc King Salmon motorbike. But anyway.
ヤシロギのダチから聞いたんだけどな。
Oh well. When delivery workers were not out on deliveries, they spent their shift bussing tables or washing dishes. The dinner rush was yet to come, and Sojiro and his fellow delivery boys were shooting the breeze while washing dishes in the back.
聞いてるか、しずき。
Huh?
聞いてるよ、木の実。
I'm listening, bro. Keep talking. Two were elbow deep in a giant sink as they enthusiastically scrubbed. At least, that was what they pretended to do while they gossiped.
和食のケニアだけじゃねえんだってよ。三崎町の大帝都にもメシアンにもその手の注文があったらしいぜ。そんなに肉が欲しいなら下市に行けばいいのにな。なんだって生肉だの大物の鮭丸ごとだのを出前させやがるのか。
That is interesting.
どうよ。こ 露骨にヤバそうな話じゃね？ワニとかアザラシでも飼ってるんじゃねえかな、そいつ。
That's gotta be it. Konomi, you got a point.
他に比べてみると確かに珍しい話だと思う。ところでキノミン、ワニってなんだ？
You don't know, of course you don't know what an alligator is.
ワニはワニだろう。だっせ、実物見たことないのかよ。まあ俺もねえけどな。
You haven't seen one, but you know what one is.
今度ガクガク動物ランドのアフリカ特集ビデオを貸してやるから見とけよ。
He does have a TV. So you could actually play it. Yeah, good point, good point. This was a minor pattern of conversation between the two, especially now Kinomi was used to Sojo's lack of general knowledge. The band was interrupted by the delivery phone. Roger snapped up the receiver and quickly jotted down the order and address. Once he hung up, everyone in the kitchen did their best to avoid making eye contact with him. Nobody wanted to go rushing out for a delivery on such a cold day.
しずきくん、ちょっと遠いけど配達をお願い。
Huh? Just single soldier out for a task, seemingly unfazed by his staff's laziness.
はい、これ届けるもののリスト。異例だからあまり他のバイトには他言しないようにね。
It's unusual, Nani. I should totally see what the order and address written on it from his memo pad. So I took one look at it before a grimace quietly spread across his face.
マネージャー？
Hey boss, what the fuck is this?
なんだい？
Just stared right back at him as if he could tell what it was he wanted to say.
君の疑問はもっともだ。しかしまあ、長いことこの商売をやっていると、時にはこんなバカな話が転がってくることもある。
But
そうお
boss,
かしなことじゃない。
bro, what is these?
じゃあ、冷蔵庫から品物持ってくるから。
Sojo stared in admiration as the manager, dressed in black, watched out of the kitchen in his bold business way. No one was free from the cold, no one was free from the odd occurrence now and then. Or it's nighttime cold. Ooh, that shit's cold. It's getting warmer outside here, thankfully. Which is certainly a blessing.
遅い。
Huh? Fuck you so mad for? It was after 10 at night. Soja had taken a small detour on his way home from work and now faced an outraged outcome. As expected. Seeing her so visibly irritated made him feel a rush of relief. Didn't know why she was angry, but he could tell it was a different type of anger than what he saw earlier that morning.
遅いってまだ10時になったばかりだろう。どうしたんだ青崎？
Did something happen? What eyes? Itchy. He set down the cardboard box he had been carrying in his arms and glanced towards the fireplace. The sleeping girl was there no more.
違うわ。もう10時になったの間違いでしょ。
Bruh, you're not this strict.
あんたってほんと自分がどんな状態にあるか分かってないのね。
Are you forgetting how dumb Sojiro is, Aoko? Are you forgetting this?
いいから今に来て。
Huh? She walked briskly to the other room without pausing, leaving Sojiro standing in confusion, head tilted to one side. He proceeded to pick his box back up and follow after her eagerly. Bro, what? He removed his coat and hung it on the hanger as he entered the living room. Apparently today was one of those days where Alice kept herself locked away in her room. Filled with the familiar pills.
説明しなかった私も悪いけど、あなたも帰ってくる時間は守ってよね。こっちはそのつもりで作ってるんだから。
But... I handed him the pills and a glass of water with an expectant look on their face.
薬なら出かける前に飲んだけど、体の調子だって悪くないし、そんなに慌てることか？
Yeah, good bro.
は？なんだって私たちがあんたの健康を気にかけなくちゃいけないのよ。
Wait, why is he taking these pills?
勘違いしてるようだけど、あんたが帰ってくるたびに飲んでるのって、平たく言えば毒よ。
Oh, yeah, okay.
即効性じゃないから、効き目は半日すると出てくるんだけど、その前に新しい毒薬を飲んでおかないと、古い毒が体に回ってばったりいくって寸法ね。
So you put him in ever continuous cycle.
アリスのやつ、これぐらいしないと信用できないって言い張ったのよ。ほら、 分かったらさっさと飲む。ま、私もこれ面倒だと思うし、近いうちもっと形のある方法を考えてみるから、それまでこの方法で我慢して。
So he takes one set of poison pills, and then the next day takes another set which stops the previous poison, and takes another set again to stop that poison, and another set to stop that poison. Bro.
言ってることは支離滅裂だが、とにかく今まで良くないものを飲んでたんだな。
To be fair, Sojiro, the first one you took without even asking. Sojiro took the pills from her and gulped it down. The fact that it was poison gave him no pause at all. As for his roommate's tyrannical behavior, he showed no signs of standing up to it.
まったく、毒を持って毒を制するなんて、また古風な真似するな、青崎もアリスも。
You really are. So her face relaxed into a smile upon finding the funny side of the situation. Ako was utterly dumbfounded as to how he could be happy at a time like this.
今日帰りが遅れたのは、アパートまで荷物を取りに行っていたからなんだ。そういうことなら、電話の一つでもすればよかった。
Yeah.
荷物ってまさかそれじゃないでしょうね。
Yes. Sandra nodded empathetically as she pointed ridiculously at the cardboard box in his hands.
住んでいないのに家賃を払うのはバカらしいから、今日で引き上げてきた。一応、いつでも戻れるように話はつけてあるから、3ヶ月ぐらいは大丈夫だよ。
Oh, W.
家賃？
Rent?
あ、そっか。そうよね。私ってばなんでそんなことを忘れてたんだろう。アリスが聞いたら喜ぶわ、そりゃ。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sojiro, you should have kept your mouth shut, buddy. Oh, no. He thought, oh, I don't have to pay rent. How fucking glory. Oh. Oh, no. A smile blossomed across her face, as they say. It was the open, bold-faced look of a child who just came out with a mischievous plan. Sojiro shook with a fear at the thought of what that smile might bring his way.
けどずいぶん少ないのね、荷物。段ボール一箱分しかないの？
Sojiro, you really should have kept your mouth shut about the rent.
そうかな。十分多いだろう。それよりアリスは自室か？
Yeah.
ちょっと前に戻ったわ。珍しく食後もここに残ってたんだけど、待ちきれなかったみたいね。
Hmm. She gave Sojiro a meaningful look while continuing to smile that sinister smile.
待ちきれなかったって何を？
For you, I assume.
そりゃあ、アリスが眠ってるのをいいことに、在庫のないフォションとブルーキャリコを勝手に使ってくれたどこかの誰かさんにお仕置きするためなんじゃない？
Oh. Oh. Who could that be? Oh, I think she just forgot that she made some and then didn't drink it. I don't know who did that. The last of her fashion in blue Cali. I don't know who did that.
ファッションってあのお茶の葉？
So true. Oh, Sojiro.
そう、私もびっくりしたけどね。アリスがどっかで寝入るのはよくあることだけど、紅茶を用意して眠るなんてのは初めてだったから。どんな心境の変化か知りたくて起こしたら、アリスの方が驚いてたわ。一体誰の仕業なんだって。
Sojiro clapped his hands together as if remembering something important. He had forgotten to clean up the tea before leaving. The regret written from forehead to chin delighted Aoko immensely.
そうか。それじゃあアリスは怒っていただろう。
I hope she wasn't too mad, because we're trying to make this better.
当然、コマドリがとばっちりでドリブルされてたしね。
So mission befriend Alice is going terrible. Got it.
ああ、俺でも怒る。片付けをきちんとしないなんて、だらしないにも程がある。
That's not what she's mad about. So harshly scolding himself for his failure.
論点違う。あのね、寝顔を間近で見られたから怒ってるのよ、アリスは。
Oh, she's not mad about the tea. Oh, that's fair. Okay. What?
そうかな。 アリスはそういうのは気にしないと思うんだけど。
Well, to be fair, Alco, he doesn't know her schedule, alright? He doesn't know. So how would he know that will be a time she wouldn't want to sleep, man? Listen, if I come home and I see someone to sleep like on the couch or some shit, I'm not gonna start yelling at them to wake up. I'm like, oh, okay, they're just tired. I'll let them get their rest, because they probably need it. You know, like, damn.
あんたはそうかもしれないけど、私たちは気にするの。
Okay, he didn't watch her sleep, I'll have you know. He was studying. It was close enough to make glass shatter. It was indescribable intensely in the way she said that.
それは青崎たち限定の話か？
Apparently.
世間一般での常識よ。自分が気にしないからって他人もそうだと思ってると、いつか火傷するからね。
But he was studying.
でもそれだったらロビーで寝ているアリスにだって問題ないか？見かけたら放っておけないだろう、あんなの。
Yes, that's the thing, right? Just want to make sure like nothing happens, right? In case she like falls over or some shit while she's sleeping. You never know. But at that point, I guess you should just wake him up.
その心意気は立派だけど、そこはそれ。この館の持ち主は彼女だから。
Just accept reality for what it is, man.
この洋館内であなたが出会ったあらゆる不義不始末、失敗失態の責任は宗十郎に押し付けられるの。
Yeah, you make a mistake, you make up for that mistake.
この意味、わかる？
Yes. Michael's question set Soldier into a trance of deep thought until finally he uttered.
つまりここはアリスの自治領なんだな。
Yes.
はい、よくできました。正確には私とアリスのだけどね。領主は何をやっても許されるってことよ。
Oh, goody. Ugh. She smiled as she spoke and plopped herself down the sofa. Soldier remained standing behind the sofa opposite her as he ran over the conversation again and again in his head. The notion of this being their kingdom made him realize he actually had no idea where the girls had come from or their family's background.
青崎、君ご両親はどうしてるんだ？
I don't think she's answering this question. He really blurted out, this being the question foremost on his mind.
生きてるわよ。三崎町から下りに4駅行った東川ってところの地主。死は祖父だけど、今は隠居して両親と一緒の土地に住んでるわ。
Oh. I'm surprised she answered that.
そう聞くとなんだか普通の家庭だな。
Yeah, families are normal usually, yeah. So I imagine something more outrageous for a family of magicians.
両親はね、父さんにはあんまり魔術回路は作られなかったみたいだから、その分私には2世代分の潜在能力があるって祖父は言ってるけど、どうだか。
You're not sure about that, Alco, sorry, you blew up the fucking moon. You blew up the moon flat snark. What are you talking about? You got plenty of power.
宗十郎の期待してるような一族はどっちかっていうとアリスの方よ。私と違って英国出身だからね、彼女。
Oh, England, oh goody. Michael offered nothing more. That's just that was as far as she was willing to reveal for now. Soldier had insisted on talking to Alice directly rather than hearing things secondhand, so chose not to go back on his word by pushing the topic further.
ま、詳しくは本人から聞きなさい。アリスの紅茶好きもそこから来てるんだし。
Makes sense.
そういえば、なんで今日に限ってリーフティーなんか入れたの？ティーバッグを使った方がまだマシだったでしょうに。
Well, because he was making tea for Alice.
青崎がそっちの方がいいって言ったじゃないか。アリスは紅茶にうるさいって。
Exactly. Echo was momentarily at a loss for words. He seemed so oblivious most of the time, but apparently he was attentive to some details. At least selectively.
ま、いいわ。それより明日の放課後だけど、また一人で帰ってくれない？
Yes.
年明けの行事があるんだけど、その場しのぎで行った餅つき大会が通っちゃってさ、明日も忙しいのよ、私。
Understandable. Such not an acceptance. In fact, he already planning to do so before she even asked.
それはいいけど、体は大丈夫か、青崎？昨日から寝てないだろう。
Yeah, you haven't slept like at all, lady.
夕方に3時間ちょい仮眠を取ってから調子はいいわ。
You say so.
そういうあんたこそ体は持つんでしょうね。もう少ししたら昨日の続き始めるわよ。
She meant the all-night cramming session, of course. Needless to say, Sojiro was more than likely to struggle given that he too had not slept a wink. All he could do was give a relieved smile. He felt back to the days just after they transferred here, when she watched his every move from the sidelines and showed a startling amount of concern for him.
いいよ。どのみち苦労するのは青崎の方だし、異例中の異例はありがたく受け取っておくとしよう。
The exception among exceptions. His chill response grated on her just a little.
あんた、くだらないことだけはしつこく覚えてるんだから。
Yeah. She heaved her shoulders in exasperation and drooped her head as an excuse to look away from the beaming smile on his face. Sheesh. What a pair. The following day, the last day of finals had ended without a hitch. That final December hurdle was finally a thing of the past. For all but one student, that is. To Sojiro, the greatest challenge was yet to come. Bid farewell to his classmates, all jittery with excitement for the last day of the term, and headed into the Shirinozuka woods. The road home was no different than yesterday. Like he was relieved yet another day striding up that hill. Yet today, there was a fierce determination in his steps. Today was his last chance. He wanted nothing more than to talk to the girl. I didn't care if she was cruel to him or ignored him, or Aok was being truthful when she said that she could trap him in a mirror land or something like that. All he really cared about was having the chance to speak with her face to face. But nothing is ever that simple. To tell the truth, what he found upon finally entering the mansion was not wholly unexpected.
よく寝る子だな、本当。
Again. The deja vu he was experiencing made him dizzy. Faced with an exact reenactment of the previous day, he couldn't help but blurt out what he was thinking. I was asleep by the fireplace, just as she had done yesterday. The way her legs draped to one side resembled those of a princess in a children's book. She looked more comfortable than she had the day before. Miraculously, he had a rare flash of insight that enabled him to read the situation more clearly.
学校で飛び丸は一人何をしているんだろう。
Why are you thinking about Tobimaru? As the back at the entrance, he made his decision, took a deep breath, and rolled up his sleeves. Today was a reenactment of yesterday. He supposed he would play along with that idea. So he removed his shoes and headed for the kitchen. He was off to prepare another ill-fated pot of tea. Since she was angry about him using her precious Fauchon, this time he turned to Jackson's fruit and herb brew. Sadly, this was about as much as Sojiro could manage to amend his behavior. He failed to realize that it was not the brand of tea that had landed him in hot water, but rather his incorrect brewing method. Wait, so you're not gonna wake her up? Alright. Filling the pot with tea, he carried it back to the foyer. His breath was visible in the cold air as he sat himself down by the fireplace. He took a sip of the fruity tea he had prepared for himself and pulled his textbook from his bag. Exams were over now, but he had been instructed to take extra classes for subjects from day one of school. Quite inevitable. The foyer was warm outside, but so far from comfortable. It was enough to make anyone yearn for some sort of warmth. Sojiro dove into his electronics textbook in the winter-chilled hall. The class was not very popular, which is why it had been recommended to him in the first place. The fact that everyone who took it started on equal footing made it more appealing to him than other classes.
けど青崎の言う通り
During the rest of the tea, having no appreciation for its flavor, I refilled his cup. He was so warm, since his ceramic teapot had excellent heat retention.
文字で物事を覚えるのは苦手みたいだ
Why are you not waking Alice up is my question. He vaguely recalled our conversation as his eyes advances across the page. The lighting in the foyer was forcing him to rely on illumination from the skylight. The light cut into the room at a diagonal angle in such a way as to divide the floor into light and dark areas, with fireplace in shadow. The room resembled ancient ruins covered in ash. Or perhaps the quiet, forgotten world of a faded fairy tale. Time slipped on by within the white walls of this room, hidden away from the sun. This passed slowly for some time, until the sound of a textbook slamming shut brought the room back to reality. So he started to stiff back and eagerly got started on clearing up. Put the textbook back in his bag, placed his cup on the tray, and Alice sitting in front of her on the floor.
バイトの時間だ
He said unceremoniously. He spoke as if to convince himself that he had no other choice as he prepared to leave the sleepy floor behind. But before he could, the sound behind him stopped him in his tracks. He turned around with his bag under his arm and tray in his hands. It's not to cause even a ripple in her teacup. Greeted her.
Yeah.
You know, Sojiro, you could have just woken her up when you first got home, but hey, do the weird thing. Our phone is dying, hold on. There you go. In a light, easygoing manner. She remained seated next to the fireplace like a black-eyed sleeping beauty. Her face was as still as a statue. Almost no different than it had been in slumber. Yeah, Alice now realized just how different she and Aoko really were. How communicate her feelings openly, even if he never could quite tell where they came from. Her trademark expression of irritation would keep him guessing as to the reason she was angry, but to her credit, her emotional state was always clear. Alice, on the other hand, was completely unreadable. She might be angry, but then again, sad. He could not tell either way.
何のつもり
Huh? The question gave him a sinking feeling in the pit of his stomach. Hiccup. He could not decide whether it was animosity or perplexity that he heard in her voice. If the former, it was like it to turn into a reply of their interaction from the replay of the interaction from the other night. An image of the shadowed bottle sprang to his mind. So he knew his response would be extremely important. After struggling for a few moments, he finally woke up the courage to say something. It's not the correct thing, unfortunately.
そうだな一口じゃ説明できないから座るよ
Yeah, that's not the right thing to say. He had no idea what the correct approach would be, so he simply did whatever came into his mind instead. She gave him no response. Her face said that she detested his presence, but he plowed ahead regardless. So he took a seat and sat down the tray once more. Their eyes met. Her inscrutable gaze enough to turn most people away. But the target of her animosity appeared not to notice it at all. Oh, Sojiro, you. Ah, Sojiro. You are your own worst fucking enemy, aren't you? Truly your own worst enemy.
それで何
Yes.
ああ 遅くなったけど、こうして話がしたかったんだ、アリスと。
Despite having suggested I would take time to explain, he managed to sum things up circuit. That word.
私と会うことではなく、
Yes, you.
ん？そうだね。青崎とはもっと話したいところだけど、それよりは3人で話してみたい。
Yeah, but you come first. Alice found herself out of kilter, able to read his true intentions. Sojiro turned on, failing to notice her bewilderment.
青崎は普段からアリスとは会話がないって言うんだ。それが俺のせいなら困るし、俺のせいじゃないならもっと困る。
Alright.
せっかく同じ場所にいるのに会話がないなんて、もったいないと思うんだ。
That's fair, yeah, that's fair. Each word he spoke was heavy with emotion. Alice remained utterly unable to discern this boy's intentions. She could do parts was that there was something he wanted from her. But what could that be? What she found even stranger was that he was not speaking to her from a place of fear.
あなたは私が怖くないの？
No.
ああ、だってそう言えるほど、俺は君をよく知らない。
That's a good reason. The gleaming eyes looked like they were made of polished quartz. His response had not been what she expected. He spoke with pure honesty and unfettered truth. Such boldness, however, did not actually upset her. The conversation ground to a halt. If you could even call it a conversation in the first place. Alice grew tense, as if displeased by the strangely comfortable moment of silence between them. Sojiro endured her cold stare, showing no sign of flinching.
話、
Huh? What? Who?
私と話をしたいと言ったでしょ。なら好きにしてみたら。
Yeah, like Sojiro. Speak. Speak, bro. What a challenge and invitation. He had neither a topic on hand, nor were they intimate enough to strike up a casual conversation. Nonetheless, her chance hanged in the air, waiting for a response.
じゃあ、あの鳥の話よ。ほら、そこにいる青い鳥。たまに見かけるんだけど、君の飼い鳥か？
Is it a pet?
それとも、ほら、なんて言ったかな。プロイだっけ？あの鳥もアリスの使い魔？
I'm surprised you remember that. Her eyes let slip for a moment a very natural response. It was annoyance, such as that which one might feel toward a troublemaker.
あれもプロイだけど、私とは何の関係もない脱鳥。ずいぶん古くからいるだけで、私もよく知らないわ。
Oh. Huh.
ん？じゃあ、勝手に住んでるのか？この家に。
勝手になんて、私が許すはずがないでしょ。
Okay, that's fair, but like still, okay.
ロビンは本当に役に立たないけど、あんなのでも母から譲り受けたものだから。失敗続きでも特別に住まわせてあげてるの。
Damn, you heard that, Robin? You kinda suck.
そっか、安心した。ここに住むの、役に立たなきゃダメってわけでもないんだね。
Ah, that's a relief. I'm not the only useless person here. Oh. She turned away in silence to avoid looking at his hapless grin. Thus began Sojo's very lengthy monologue. It started with his part-time job, then moved on to the school, next came the amusement park, and random gossip around town, and last, the subject of rent. He spent all of 20 minutes on mindless small talk. He ran out of things to say and finally stopped.
ごめん。アルバイトがあるから、もう行くよ。
And that was that. Finally getting his long-awaited chance to talk to her, he realized he had no exit plan in place. So he returned the tray to the kitchen, placed his bag in the foyer, and headed for the door. She had never seen the boy so candid. Which is why, overcome with surprise, She found herself calling out to him.
待って。
Wait a minute. She had no reason to do so, and yet she called out anyway.
何？
Hold on. Sojiro mission, befriend Alice, worked? Wait a fucking minute. Did it work?
その
Yes.
今日はポットがあったけど。
Mm-hmm.
うん。昨日の反省点だったから。結局使ったのは自分だけだけど。
Unfortunately, but still, didn't make not the same mistake at least.
そう。そのポットはコーヒーとの兼用だから。ハーブティーには合わないわ。
Oh, I see. So's eyes grew wide with shock. Now he remembered that there had been all sorts of cups and teapots in the cupboard. Each was specifically designed for a different type of tea.
なかなかに奥深い。
I know, right? There's so much.
あれかな。慣れないことはするもんじゃないってことか。
Suppose so, yeah. She let out a vexed sigh.
どうして私を起こさなかったの？
That is the thing I was also questioning. Why didn't you just wake her up? She had not heard what he said, or she had been waiting this whole time for a chance to ask him that. In any case, her question abruptly interrupted his stream of thought. He fell silent with introspection. The thought of waking her had not so much crossed his mind either that day or the previous one. You'd think today it would, but I guess not.
言って。
Oh,
起こす気も起きることも期待していなかったのは。
no. Her eyes were filled with animosity. Uh-oh. My eyes were usually in such an all-piercing gaze. The setting sun transformed the floor into a battle of life and death. Lies or deceptive answers would not be permitted. It's the palpable tension that filled the room, where any move, wrong or otherwise, was likely to get him killed. He felt pain rather than fear. Al's voice was icy cold, apparently rejecting any response he was to give. The boy vaguely imagined a newborn chick that had fallen from the nest, struggling to survive on its own. He gasped, hanging on to a thread of hope, yet detesting where that thread hung.
言わなきゃいけないか。
Alice nodded sharply. Oh, okay.
じゃあ言うけど、別に深い考えがあったわけじゃない。単に寝た子を起こすのは良くないだろ。
I can actually understand that, yeah. Unless you're like, as I said earlier, like if I ever come home and someone's like sleeping on the couch or whatever, I'm just gonna wake him up unless I've been told to. Oh, wake me up at this time, please. Like, that's how we live around. That's how we do it around here, like in our house or in our apartment. Like, unless someone tells you, oh, could you wake me up at this time? We don't usually wake each other up, unless it's like, okay, you've been sleeping for like a long time now. Like, it's been like 4 or 5 hours. You should wake up now. It's a little bit late. But other than that, it's like, you just kind of leave them till they wake up themselves.
冗談は聞いてないわ。
No, I'm serious.
冗談じゃないよ。眠っているのならそのままでいいと思ったんだ。話はしたいけど、それはまた目が覚めた次の機会にするべきだって。
随分と悠長なのね。青子があなたを守るのは今日までだって聞いているけど。
Why you stop doing that? Yes. Yes, it does. Yeah.
私に取り入る機会はこれが最後なのに。
Correct.
それとも、あれだけ忠告されておいて、まだ何も分かっていないの？
Well, he had not. He swore to her, agreed to her terms, got as far as to sit face to face with her to get to know her. Surely, he thought, this was enough to escape death. And she believed, as a mage, that Alice's naive goodwill and simple-mindedness were all the reasons she needed to execute him. Trivial misunderstandings would only make things worse at this point.
そりゃ何もわからないよ。魔術とか魔法とか、たった数日でわかるもんか。
So, alright.
はっきりしているのは、アリスも青崎も言ったことはきっちり守るってことだけだ。
True.
ならどうして？
Her gaze said what she really wanted to ask. She wanted to know why he did not beg for his life. She knew the answer. She saw the look on his face when he turned to leave without so much as trying to wake her. A look of resignation. What on earth had it meant?
どうしてって、そう言われても困る。そうだな。機会が訪れなかったのなら、それはそういうことだと思ったのかもしれない。
But you know what? That's fair. Don't force it. You know, don't force the situation, right? When it comes to talking to Alice, like trying to make amends with Alice and like get her to not want to kill him. Like, don't force it. There's no point to that.
君の寝顔はそれぐらい、なんていうか、判断に困った。青崎とは違う意味で、簡単には関われないと思ったんだ。
Ooh. Sort of struggled to find the right words, but said what he was feeling in the moment anyway. He'd seen a sleeping witch of the wood who clearly needed someone's help, yet sought the help of no one.
そう。でも、しずきくんは関わろうとしているのね。
That's because you talked back. He didn't approach you. It's because you talked to him first.
その機会は訪れなかったのに。
機会はやってきたよ。なんで、こっちも今日ぐらいは自分の勝手にして無茶をしたくなったんだ。
Also that, yeah.
しずきくんの言う通りなら、私はあなたを拒絶するしかないのに。
Well, yeah. That was always from the fucking beginning.
まあ、そこが難しいところなんだけど。
Sojiro glanced at the entrance. He had no reason to. He just felt an urge to do so.
多分、そこを解決したがってるのは俺だけじゃないと思うよ。
He wondered as if speaking to himself, but it was clearly meant for her to hear. Alice knew full well how poorly he had understood the situation. All of this was one giant misunderstanding on his part. His tiny gesture of goodwill, pitiful and pure, resembled that of someone reaching out to help a dying kitten. For Alice, doing so would be akin to clutching the thorns of a rose. She felt pain in her chest for the first time in quite a while.
けど、私はあなたの同居を認めてはいないわ。
She addressed the floor at her feet to avoid showing him how she truly felt. If he had, he would have seen that her face looked just the way Aoko's had earlier.
だろうな。それはきっと今は解決できない問題だ。
Yep.
でもそのうち何かの気まぐれであっさり終わるものかもしれない。だからその時までアリスはずっと俺を嫌っていていいんだと思う。
Gasp of breath was like a response in itself. Is it just she could keep hating him? She had once wished to hear those words too so dearly. If only once.
大体だぞ。アリスだけじゃなく、青崎も同居を認めてない節があるじゃないか。だから認めてもらうなんて意気込み自体が間違いなんだ。どうあっても俺は青崎や君たちとは違うんだし。となると、あとは我慢してもらうしかない。難しい話だけど、一緒にいても邪魔にならないぐらいなら、その可能性は上がらないか？
That's the question, Sojiro. That's the question, isn't it? Thinking that of course it was possible. But if it were that easy, none of this would have been necessary in the first place. Alice nodded in agreement. There's no way he could have planned for things to work out this well. But his plan in fact had worked. if inadvertently, from the moment the conversation began.
例えばあなたが隣にいても眠っていられるぐらいに。
そうだね。例えばの話。
Beaming, Sojiro stood up and left the foyer. Alice did not stop him this time. He had a newfound spring in his step as he headed to work. But something gave him a moment's pause.
実際、覗き見は趣味が悪いと思う。
He complained aloud to make sure a certain someone heard him. One or 2 minutes had passed and Sojiro left the mansion when a long-haired figure came creeping into the foyer. Naoka Aozaki had been just outside the entire time, eavesdropping.
帰ってたの。
What's this music? What the heck? With a sudden glare, Alice addressed the interloper. Naoka was shivering from the head to toe after standing in the cold for so long. She deemed gloves an abomination and refused to wear them except in the most extreme cold. As a result, her slender fingers were pitifully swollen and red.
ちょっと前にね。それでどうだったのアリス。随分と話してたみたいだけど。
She was strangely elated as she blew on her hands to warm them. Alice was not fooled by Aoko's facade, except from the ill-tempered look she wore on her face.
あなたがここまで過保護とは思わなかったわ。
Yeah, kind of ridiculous.
意地？それとも義務？どっちかっていうと成り行きね。で、どうだったのよ結果は。気に食わなかったら実力行使に出るって言ってたじゃない。
And it seems he didn't, so I'd say Operation Befriend Alice worked out fucking perfectly. You did it, Sojiro. I didn't think you could do it, but you did it, boy. And man, am I impressed. Alice's mood was growing darker and darker the longer she had to look at Aqua's cheerful posturing. They went back to the dinner together the previous night. The thing that happened in the foyer, Alice was both more suspicious and intrigued by Sojiro than ever before. She insisted that Aqua let him walk home alone the next day. He used a concoction to fake her slumber and recreate the same scene as the previous day. Much of her plan went well, but the rest had veered totally off course. It didn't help to know her roommate had savored every moment of it from the other side of the wall either. So she faked sleeping. That, alright. Yeah, I didn't think she'd sleep like that again. Like on purpose. Or like, by accident. Make matters worse, Alice was frustrated at herself for letting such trivial matters bother her. There's a nice space between she and stared. Alright. She stared at the teacup still sitting on the floor. Her finger traced its cold rim.
青子の言う通り、害にはならない人ね。
He really is.
あくまで今のところの話だけど。
For the time being. But he is. She forced a tone of indifference in order to hide her irritation with her apprentice. It was in this moment that Sojiro's fate was decided.
あら、それだけ？アリスにしては長く話してたのに。
It was mostly just Sojiro talking now. Relentless, I could continue her line of questioning. Alice only stared back icily.
青子、あなた、隠していたわね。
She voiced her displeasure at Ako's behavior in no uncertain terms. Suddenly the air in the foyer felt cold as ice. They stared at one another, each trying to guess the other's next move.
さすがね。よくそこに気がついたもんだわ。でも、こればかりは譲れないのよ。
Widened her stance and glared at Alice.
何もすべて奪うとは言っていないわ。そうね。あなたにも3割ぐらいは回すつもり。
30%? What? The Completely unperturbed by Alco's warlike posturing. Simple look was all Alice needed to keep her roommate in check.
銃が3に化けちゃちょっと黙ってらんないわね。
高望みは命取りよ、青子。
Oh. Alice remained calm and dignified, not moving a muscle. Like hours passed as the two stared at each other in silence. Was grinding her teeth in frustration. At this rate, their alliance would be in tatters before they even confronted their foe. Worst of all, she knew Alice had the upper hand.
ケチ。
Mako accepted her defeat with a tisk.
悔しいけど、アリスが6。私が4で手を打つわ。
Ding. He prepared herself for less. Alice nodded in satisfaction.
そうね。家主は私だけど、彼を招いたのは青子だから。その代わり、家賃の取り立てはあなたの役割ね。
Oh, that's what you're talking. Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sojiro. I don't know how much that rent's gonna be, but shit, it's gonna be a lot.
いいけど。ああ、情けない。こんなことなら錬金術でもかじっておくんだった。そうすればこんな思いをしなくても済んだのに。
No.
そうでもないわ。彼ら、バブルが弾けて大変だって話よ。
Oh, the market downturns. Never spoke with the confidence of someone with the first-hand experience of such matters. Yet Alco only nodded abasmently in response. Kidnap a boy, make him pay rent, refuse to elaborate. That's about it, yeah. Kidnap him, and now he's gotta pay rent. Bro, so I feel bad. I feel bad for Sojiro, man. Also, hey G2, thanks for joining us. But at least he befriended Alice, and I see that as a win. So he may have to pay rent, but at least he somewhat befriended Alice, so that's a W. But if I was over how to split the take of Sojiro's rent now that he was officially going to move in. Not the most becoming quarrel for a pair of mages. Wasn't about to live with them and then demanding he pay rent was beyond extorting. It was truly vicious.
でも、そんなセリフが出るってことは、アリスもようやく認めたってことね。
For now. Mako was triumphantly satisfied with herself.
認めてはいないけど。公園での夜、彼を結界で捕捉しなかった責任があるから。
Yes.
彼と約束をした青子だけを責められないでしょ。
True.
約束か。
Something is more than reprehensible even the narrative calls out the prototype. True. When even the game itself, it's like, yo, this is kind of fucked up. But keep going. Like, this is fucked up. But go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you. Mako looked up at the ceiling as she recalled the night at the amusement park. A week at most had passed since then, but Mako had already felt that Sojo's fate and her own had become intrinsically linked. Oh goody. Alco, you're so good at linking your fate to other people, aren't you? You're so good at that. You do it again in... How many years is Tsugihime? Do it again anyway? Or perhaps they had always been connected by fate since the moment they'd met. She couldn't see into the future, so there's no way to know for sure.
ま、縁とか運とかはともかく、
Mm-hmm.
変だけどいいやつよね、あいつ。
Yeah, besides being stupid and weird, but he's not bad. He's good. He's good egg. I felt other to herself in self-confirmation more than to Alice. Alice could look on in annoyance, perhaps in an attempt to voice her displeasure at her comment.
青子、あの傷を知ってる？
Oh, we're finally gonna talk about that neck injury.
傷？
Alice raised her slender fingers to her mouth as if to push the words back in. She had blurted out in the heat of the moment. A secret that no one else was supposed to know. That which one couldn't keep to herself.
Hmm?
Nothing. I could tell they were head in confusion.
So,
I see, so you don't know. Oh, she's smiling! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Alice, are you happy you're sharing a secret with Sojiro? Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute! Alice looked relieved for some reason. Some antipathy towards Aoko had dissipated as well.
幸せな人。
Oh, hey, Go! Hold on. Ignorance is bliss, I suppose. Yep. Is she it? Wait a minute. Sojiro really befriended Alice, huh? Like, they're friends! And she's happy they're saying a secret. Hold on. At the end of the day, Alice, you really are still just a child, huh? You are still a child. Said Alice. She took a sip of her cold tea. No time to explain who was fortunate or what. And you even sipped the tea he made for you? Are they best friends already? Damn! They're already best friends, clearly. Yeah, damn. Later, people face contort and revulsion.
まず
Okay, maybe don't. Okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. She battened the cup on the cup to the floor once more. Black dress unceremoniously scrunched up as she stood. Just one sip of the underbrewed tea sent her fleeing to the drawing room to remove the bad taste from her mouth. Yeah, right. As soon as she was gone, Aoko hesitantly took the teacup in her own hands. To be fair, Sojiro never said he was good at making tea. Just because he drinks it doesn't mean he was good at it. Because he doesn't, you know, he just swallows the thing. He doesn't appreciate the taste. It was almost certainly better left untasted. But she could not help but wonder how Sojiro's tea could arouse such a strong response. After one small sip, she returned it quietly to the floor.
だからティーバッグにしろって言ったのに、あのバカ。
Dummy. The expression on her face was near identical to that of her roommates. Stick to bag, Sojiro. New book! We have extra books to read! Oh my god, it's been so long! Right, I forget actually that I should just tell you. But alright, that's the end of that chapter. That was a very good chapter. I like that. You know what? Now I don't mind that they deleted that scene. Because that whole conversation was so much better than not having, you know, the fact that they talked at a previous point. Yeah, that was a lot. That was good. It's one book. Martha. Martha, why would you say that name? Martha? Why would you say that name? Walking around the mansion at night often led to mysterious encounters. Oh. This might suddenly fill the hallway. Or doors might appear and disappear. My eyes. All kinds of itchy. Hold on. There you go. Just when Sojiro thought he had seen it all with pig-shaped shadows mending the carpet, he heard the sound of a bird's flapping coming from the sunroom.
何事?
I don't know, man. Go find out. He had become accustomed to turning a blind eye to such occurrences. The sound of flapping wings in the sunroom was too much to ignore. Not just one bird, or even two. It sounded like dozens. So many birds packed in the sunroom would inevitably lead to shattered windows of broken glass. So he grabbed a broom and dashed toward the sound, prepared for the worst. Perhaps he was moved by his natural impulse to help or desperate self-defense. His mind flashed to what a teacher had said at school.
皆さんも部屋の整頓は心がけてくださいね。人間の自制心って環境に流されるらしいですから。
Or so they tell you.
ほら、それまで犯罪の少ない町だったのに、一つボロボロの家ができただけで、近隣住人がみんな自堕落になるというあれ。
This isn't true, but sure.
環境への無関心さが すさんだ精神を作り上げるとか眉唾ですけど、正直なところブームだからって盗んだバイクで走り回ったり、学校の廊下の窓ガラスとか割って回っちゃダメですよ。先生の仕事が増えますから。
I mean, okay, maybe I was gonna say maybe this is true, but no, this shit's not true. Time, school gangs had gotten a certain reputation among the youths.
窓が割れると心が割れる。
True statement. Correct. So to appreciate the basic message of the lecture as he ruminated over it. The thought of broken windows had given him a sense of urgency, as if the mansion's very moral foundations were at stake. His roommates were harsh enough with him already. Anything further would only lead to rampant rumors at school about their cruelty. To protect the honor of the student council president, it was a concern for his own safety that sent him rushing to the sunroom. However, it's empty. There wasn't a bird to be seen or a chirp to be heard upon his arrival.
あら、
Oh, hey. Only Alice and Alco, sipping afternoon tea at a table that overlooked the courtyard, were present. Doesn't the bird soldier had sensed when his mountain intuition were nowhere to be seen?
今ここに鳥が来なかった？
Did you see a flock of birds?
アリス、見た？
さあ、もう見えないのならいないということでしょう。
No.
だって、いないよ、鳥。
No birds. It was a lie so blatant even Sojiro could see through it.
そんなバカな。
Not true, bro. He knew for a fact he had heard the flapping of a flock of birds. I want to accept that there were really no wild animals in the room. Sojiro approached the windows with suspicion. There were no feathers or any signs of birds having been outside either.
夕食、鳥鍋？
That's not it. Of course Aku would say something like that, as she was watched Sojiro search desperately.
あいにく今日のバイトは魚屋さんだ。言わしてよければ土産にするけど。
Bro is not having it. He's not having this, Alco. Stop. He's not having your funniness today, alright?
イワシ。イワシか？私、あのパイ嫌いなのよね。
That's great.
いえ、むしろイワシのパイとか食べたことないのよね。
See, then shut up. What do you... What the hell? Aku's cinema routine was far ahead of its time. I'm sorry, there was a joke and I missed... What? There was a joke in there somewhere? And I missed it, clearly. Pushing a button to, like, look back at previous dialogue. Because that went fucking whoosh. That whooshed over me. What the heck? I did not catch that. Sojiro backed away from the window and begrudgingly left the sunroom. Feeling Alice's all too familiar, inscrutable gaze upon his back. Mahoyo from the middle mouse button to the top. Oh yeah, we could just do that. But isn't a button to like just see the last, to like the middle mouse button. Thank you. Also, hey Crypt. Sardines. I don't like sardine pie. Not that I ever had it. I don't get it. What's the joke? I don't get it. Unless, how's Mahoyo? It's pretty chill, as expected. It's really just, we're just cruising out good time. But so far, it's been fantastic. Alice probably made sense in Japanese. Maybe the pun made more sense in Japanese. I'm assuming it's a pun. That is. I'm assuming.
イワシ。イワシか？私、あのパイ嫌いなのよね。
I don't get it. I mean, funny man. You're funny, Alco. you're funny, Alco. I get it, but that did not. All right.
なんだいアリ
Just he opened his mouth to ask her what she wanted. What are you doing, bird? Now see that I found that I get that one. That's funny. I don't understand bird violence. What, Robin? What are you doing? Blue comet crashed into his head. Secret, Mahoyo's going great. As you can tell, it's going fantastic. I love this game. It needed no explanation. Yo, Alice is not having Robin shit today. It could only be Robin, a mysterious bird that appeared frequently in the mansion. It shrilled accusingly. The truth was, the tiny aggressor that assaulted him just now was the greatest of the mansion's 7 wonders. Actually, you'd much rather play Mahoyo than Tsukihime. I don't know, it's hard to say. It's hard to be honest, it's hard comparing the two. Aside from production quality, it's hard comparing the two. Because Tsukihime just hit at the right time. Not that this isn't hitting at a good time. I love this cozy, just chill atmosphere. That's like 90% of the game so far. Like, I love that. So it's not that. But I don't know, something about Tsukihime just hit. It just hit just perfect. I don't know what it is. So I don't know. I don't know if I like this more than Tsukihime, but we'll see. Hey, we'll see once we finish it. I don't know. Fucking blue ass stupid bird. I won't lie though. There's not a day where I don't miss Tsukihime. There's not a day where I don't miss it. And I want Red Garden so bad. Especially after seeing the teaser finally, bro. I want Red Garden so bad. I want Tsukihime Red Garden to come out so bad, man. There has to be a trailer this year. Surely, man. There's got to be. There has to be. Sword encountered all sorts of people along his route to work. So new to city life, he found the crowds of people outside the station hardly fascinating. In fact, they were the highlight of his commute. No two people wore exactly the same clothes or walked in the same fashion. So many people, you would think they would all melt into an indistinguishable huddle. Each person he saw was different and unique. I can relate to that. When I commute in the mornings on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I can relate to that. That's an interesting thing. You see different people every day. Like, so far, the couple months I've been doing it, I haven't seen a single person return. Like, I've seen a person once and then never again. It's fucking fascinating. I'm sure I'm the same to everyone else around me. They see me once and never again. But like, I have still not seen the same person twice. Unless, I mean, not that I'm looking out for like the same people when I'm walking to the office. But it's like, how have I not seen the same person again? That's fucking fascinating. It's super interesting how that doesn't happen. Unless you're looking for him. Sojiro was excited as a child as he looked out at the bustling, diverse streets of the city.
Yeah.
Okay, stop. Alright, okay. I guess we'll stop it here. Alright, you got it, Sojiro. I'll stop. You got it, man. Closing his eyes in shame, he sighed. He was upset with himself for behaving like a bumbling tourist from the countryside. First Suki track came out in 2013. We are 8 years too early for it. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Hold on. Somehow I don't out of just the fact I don't want that to be the case, I don't believe you. Hold on. I don't believe. Oh shit. Oh bro, it's not kidding. That's true. Oh bro, it's not kidding. Oh shit. Sorry. Oh. 10 years ago? Oh shit. Bio is not kidding. There's a reason why Sojiro became such a meme in the community. Well, I mean, I suppose that's a benefit of me not being part of that until only 6 months ago. Or, yeah, 6 months ago. Only being part of it then. I guess that's a good thing. I wasn't part of it 6 months ago. Like 5, 6-ish. I don't know. God damn it. I mean, not saying that it was even announced in 2013. Oh. Around 2008. Oh. I did read somewhere that they had Noel character sheets since like 2015 though, which is interesting. Right? Was it earlier than that? Was it 2015? Was it earlier? I don't know, when it comes to Noel information, I'm pretty good with it. Because no particular reason. Anyway.
ちょっと青信号で突っ立ってられるの邪魔なんだけど、何柄にもなく黄昏てるんだか。
A character has appeared. I remember you. Soldier wanted to buy a broom, and you wanted to just give him yours. A stern and familiar voice behind him snapped him out of his navel gazing.
なんだ、マッドベアに行く途中だったんだ。
Correct. Correct.
私はコンビニのバイト。こっちは5時からだけど。しずきは？
Man, I don't. I mean, given now that. Surely they'll just, like, reuse assets, right? It'd be extremely dumb to redraw everything. I mean, except for, like, new CGs, obviously, but, like, backgrounds and, like, portraits. Aside from new portraits, they already have most of the portraits for the characters that are going to be the focus. Obviously, you have to do the voiceover, you have to do the translations, or, you know, all that, right? I get that part, right? The writing, you know, translating that writing, doing the voiceover, you know. I get all that. It's a long. Visual novels are a long and careful process. I'm not stupid. I know that visual novels take as much time as any video game. But like most of the work is done, right? Technically, quote unquote, kinda, yeah, a little bit, kinda. When it comes to like background elements, like that was mostly done thanks to the original, or thanks to Tsukiri, right? So, I mean, it shouldn't take that long.
同じく5時から。くまりはどこか寄るところでも？
But that's me huffing copium. Again.
本屋に寄った帰り、読みたかった本がなくなってたから、仕方なく出歩いてたところよ。
I do have a recommendation for you. Not that it's... You can't... No. Never mind.
なるほど。時間を持て余しているところも同じだね。
Hooray. The girl greeting was Kojika Kumari, a work friend who was also in the same year at Misaki High. Though, it would have been more accurate to say she was looking for a pretext to fight him rather than greet him. I burped. This song is so good. To Sojiro, Kumari had been the first person in the city he could look up to. Well, not to be that guy, but Sojiro, you're looking down at her. But figuratively, I can understand why you would say you look up to her. The man at his first job. She insisted he wasn't cut out to work the register after many mistakes, and convinced him to quit working at convenience stores altogether. In the end, she introduced him to his current job at a Chinese restaurant, the Mad Bear. A much better fit for Sojiro.
何その無理やりな顔。なんか元気ない。いつも以上にイラッとくるわ。
You haven't?
しずきのいいところなんていつもピシッとしてる背筋ぐらいなのにみっともなく丸まってるし。
True, 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 true.
もしかして悩みとかあるの？マッドベアにタチの悪い先輩でもいるとか。それなら話ぐらいは聞いてあげるから。
Oh, you're
言って
like
みたら。
you're like extra reliable. Oh shit, hold on. Her tone was stern, her eyes were earnest. Growing up in the city herself, she was irritated by virtually everything Sojiro said and did. Nevertheless, she treated him like an equal. Introducing him to his current job was just one example of her sincerity.
いや、別に悩みとかそういうんじゃなくて、不思議なことがあったというか、珍しいものを見たというか。
Something unusual, huh? Okay. Sojiro could not find the words to explain the situation, but that did not stop him from trying. There were no problems at the manbear to speak of. He did just as much as his other job at Utatsu, the fishmongers in the shopping district. In fact, his problem had nothing to do with work at all. No, his problem was a certain blue bird that would not stop pecking at him recently.
鳥につっつかれる？何それ？小さい悩み。
You'll be fucking surprised. Yeah, his problem is a bird.
でもまあ、青い鳥っていうのは確かに珍しいわね。
It is, but you know,
いや、珍しいのは外見の話
that's
じゃな
not
くて。
the only thing. That's not the only thing. Not. I'm not sure how to proceed. There it is. There it is. The fucking gif of the milk carton falling over. Sojiro, you're not thinking of anything. There is nothing. This bubble should be empty. This is false. The breath. This image is beautiful, and that bubble should be empty because there's nothing between those eyes. I've seen this picture so many times from memes, and I finally get to see its origin. And I love it. Words alone were not enough to convey the bird's plump body. What the sound of its chirping.
ふーん。綺麗な青色といったらマウンテンブルーバードだけど、日本にはいないわよね。
Oh, I didn't know that.
青いツバメだったらいるかもしれないけど。
Maybe?
いや、ツバメじゃなくて丸っこいんだ。図鑑で調べたんだけど、どうもコマ鳥っぽい。けど
A rabbit.
うん。青色のコマ鳥は存在しない。
Yeah, but they're not blue.
しずきは縁日の青ひよこって知ってる？知らないわよね。いい、そう面白い話じゃないから忘れて。
Okay, what'd you ask?
それより、そのコマ鳥って1羽だけなの？
ああ、1羽だけだ。つがいは見当たらない。
How lonely.
ふーん。突然変異だとしたらちょっとかわいそうね。
Slightly. Slightly.
生まれた時から最後の1羽だなんて。孤独にも程があるわ。
Talk about lonely, bruh.
どんな鳥かは知らないけど、次に見かけたら優しくしてあげたら、自販機で10円を拾うぐらいの幸運は運んでくれるかもよ。
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Good. Yeah, yeah. Her words were perfectly kind, but he could hardly sympathize with the creature after all the painful pecking to which had subjugated him. He wouldn't have called the bird lonely either.
いいじゃない、小鳥1羽ぐらい。
You're lucky. True.
そりゃ都会で鳥につつかれるのは珍しいけど、いい方の珍事よそれ。これがゴミ袋を漁るカラスの大群だったら困りものでしょうけど。
あ、そういえば他にも気になることが。
There was more. For example, I reminded him of the mystery of the disappearing birds at the mansion. A stranger and strange event.
実は今あそこに見える丘に住んでるんだけど。
Sojiro, you're not supposed to say.
出るんだ。大量のムクドリが頻繁に。そのくせ街に出ると見かけない。
当たり前でしょう。街じゃ鳥なんて見かけないし、あそこは山だから動物は多いんじゃない？
Or she's not questioning it. Good.
それよりあなた、 あの山に引っ越したの？前のアパートは引き払ったって聞いてたけど、学校まで通うの大変じゃない？
She is
なんであんな
flabbergasted.
偏僻なところに。
ちょっとした成り行きだよ。それに通うのは大変じゃない。大変なのは中の話なんだ。
So what happens inside that place? Ugh, the shivers, man. Gives the shivers just thinking about it.
ん？
Bro is literally capable of keeping secrets. Sojiro, you're just... Don't pat your head, bro. Alright, bro, just stop talking for like 2 seconds. Just stop talking for like 2 seconds, please. It took 40 minutes to reach town on foot. 40 minutes to the nearest convenience store would be the real kicker for most people, but for Sojiro it was no inconvenience. The problem was the dark forces beyond human understanding that lurked within the grounds.
すまない。それはクマリに話すことじゃなかった。
And you are saying shit you shouldn't be saying! Why'd you bring up the bird in the first place? What's she gonna do with the bluebird? Or like the pack of birds, you know? What's she gonna do about it? Nothing.
それより今の話だ。町には鳥が少ないと言ったけど、どうして？
単に環境に適応できなかったのよ。
I assumed that was the case.
何？鳥の話には随分と食いつくわね。しずき動物好き？
I wouldn't say he is. I mean, maybe.
どちらかというと好きな方だけど。
That doesn't answer the question. This doesn't move the conversation forward. You could just say you like animals. But, alright.
そう、私は嫌い。そんな私に鳥の話とかしてほしい。
Well, I figured that pretty quickly. Her statement could hardly be more self-contradictory. Instead of telling him to be nice to a bird that attacked him, she was now claiming she did not even like animals.
そうだな。嫌いなだけで苦手でないのなら、知ってる範囲で聞かせてほしい。
What do you know about birds?
痛いとこつくじゃない。
No.
いいわ、バイトまでの時間潰しにしてあげる。さっきの続き、環境に適応できるかできないかってところからね。
Are we gonna get a fucking bird lecture? Is that what this bonus chapter is? A bird lecture? No good.
今でこそこんなだけど、美咲はここまで大きな町じゃなかったんだって。
Or is that Misaki lecture? Because I'm not against that.
昔はその半分が森だったから、彼らはもともと森に適した生活をしていたのよ。
Let's read a book on birds and really wants to tell you about them. He was just chilling one day and said, "Oh, look at these cool birds. Look, some of this cool bird lore. I got this section in Mahoyo that's just kind of open. Not much really going on here. Let's put the whole bird section in here. Let's put some birds in this one. This part of the story's kind of open-ended. Let's put some birds in here. Some bird lore. I'm sure I don't like it. Like, huh? The way Kumari addressed them was of note. She liked them or not, she seemed to at least have some respect for them. That reminds me,
でも
actually.
近代化した町じゃ自然のサイクルも成り立たない。人間ってのはまず環境を自分たちの都合に変えるから。
Reminds me, actually, it's not too important, but my Tsukihime book came into that I ordered. It doesn't specify quite what it is, but if I look at the listing again, I think it's something. It was like something. I'm forgetting the word I'm supposed to be using here. Hold on. What was it called? The Art Guidebook, as it says. And it's really cool. I haven't like properly looked through it. I skimmed through it, and there's a lot. There's like 200 plus pages. There's a lot. Yeah, we're like 250 plus pages. It's a lot. It's not just Tsukihime either. It's Blue Glass Moon. It's Crimson Air, and there's also There's not Mahoyo, because Mahoyo wasn't written at the time, I assume. Or wasn't penned yet. So it's got Melty Blood stuff in here. It also has... Kagetsu no Toya, which is pretty cool. It also know that's Tsukihime sequel. It also has Garden of Sinner stuff. It's pretty cool. I guess you'd say, oh, don't read that because spoilers. You can play the original at some point, right? Well, yeah, true, but I mean, I'm not gonna have any context for what I'm looking at picture-wise, so I think it's fine. I have no context for it. Okay, one, yeah, it's really complete. Like it's like this. When I looked in the mail and felt the package, I'm like, okay, this shit's heavy. I opened it and this bitch was thick. It's a thick book. I don't know if you can hear, but like, it's a thick book. If I could show you, I would. I don't have a camera. But if I had one, I would show you. Maybe get a camera one these days to like flip through this with everyone in like a stream. Should I do that at one point? Would you guys like that? Because I have another one. It's not as big, but it's another like art book with Tsukihime characters. Well, that's based on a remake, but I guess this one's more like readable. This one has like things you can read, like interviews, and it has a tale at the end here. I forgot what it was called. It was just called Tale. Shingetsu on Tsukihime Prologue. It's got something with some old guy and child arc. Not sure what that's about, but looks interesting. Anyway.
やぶかが多いってことで小さな川の流れを変えたり、街中コンクリートで塗り固めちゃえば鳥的にはお手上げよ。
I think I actually saved a note somewhere. Actually, I was going to read that tale when we start after I finished OG Tsukihime, because I have a whole like list of like shit I'm gonna do, like to experience all of the Tsukihime verse stuff before I like re-dive into Fate again.
虫も森
I
も
think
少
that
ないん
tale's
だ。
in there somewhere.
もう山に逃げるしかない。彼らは故郷を追われてこの森から山に移った。
And then the birds realized they weren't built for the mountains and died.
人間にとって都合のいい町は鳥たちが生きるコロニーにはなり得ないから。
そんなことぐらいで減るものか？
That is all it takes, yes.
その姿を見なくなるぐらいに？
Correct.
そこまで極端じゃないとは思う。現にあなただってムクドリを見てるでしょ？
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's not like the birds like just fucking die. But yeah, getting rid of birds is not exactly hard. Not that you would want to, because what the fuck, the birds didn't do anything, why would you get rid of them? But like, yeah, having the birds move on to somewhere else, it's not that hard, unfortunately. It's kind of sad.
比較の問題よ。町には人間が多いから鳥の姿は余計希少に感じるだけ。たまに見かけるだけで珍しいと思えるぐらいにね。
It's interesting, because I spot birds every day. Not counting pigeons. Or like, what are they called, the ones by the ocean? I forgot their name now. You know the one. Those things. Those birds. Those are like, I spot them everywhere. But like, small birds and other stuff, you don't see them too often.
ああ、確かに。じゃあ鳥は町からいなくなっただけであの山に移り住んで。
Yeah. You just might have been able to see them in day-to-day life. They were alive and well nonetheless. Habitat and lifestyle changed with the times. They never truly disappeared. So your sense of relief was sharp disturbed by a serious look from Kumari.
あの山に天敵がいなければね。
Yeah.
人間の手による乱獲か、移った先にいる生態系との衝突か。どちらにせよ、居場所を失った彼らの寿命は短いと思う。一世紀持てばいい方かもしれない。
Yeah, because some birds can't adapt to their environment quick enough.
旅行鳩の例もあるし、 気がついた時には取り返しつかないのが動物と人間の関係よ。
Yeah.
旅行バト？
そう、旅行バト。体長は40センチほどもある大型の綺麗な鳥。
Did you just say you didn't like birds?
オスの翼
Or
は
animals?
深い青色で、胸は鮮やかなエンジ色。オレンジ色の目は嘘みたいに愛らしくて、その羽は時速100キロで長い距離を旅するの。
You sure know a great deal about birds for not liking animals. Why is there a certain tenderness to it? She was dating about birds she had never seen she had never even seen in the flesh.
北アメリカにいた鳩でね、春は南から北へ、冬は冬越えのために北から南に移動するの。
We are actually getting a whole fucking mini chapter about birds. I thought it was a joke. Like, I said as a joke. But no, he was Nasu's dead ass.
今から100年以上も前の話よ。
This is Martha, right? Yeah, this is Martha. Why would you say that name? But yes, this is Martha. Is Martha just about birds? That's fine, but it's like, what? Alright.
彼らはかつて地上で最も繁殖した高等動物だった。
Mm-hmm.
何しろその数は50億。当時の総人口より多かったっていうんだから圧巻よね。
Kubiko, whatever your name was, I forget. Why the fuck do you know this? This is Nasu saying you should hate yourself? What? Nasu, what? Bought it? Nani? You bought what? Wait, you mean like the book that I just mentioned? Nasu, why should I hate myself?
なんと人間より数の多い動物がいたっていうのか？
Yeah, no, right?
うん。でも彼らは絶滅したわ。他ならぬ人間の手によって。
Yo, humans are fucking awesome, bro. Oh, now I get what you mean by saying you should hate. Yeah, humans are awesome, bro. Damn. Yeah, okay, now I get what you mean by that. This movie really made me believe I should hate myself. This many chapters just that good. Damn. Yeah, alright. Shit.
16世紀にヨーロッパからアメリカ大陸にやってきた探検家たちは空を覆い尽くすほどの鳥の群れを見た。
Hey, can we not talk about Europe? Because that's when I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. Can we not talk about that? Because that's when I'm gonna start relating to the story. If you bring up Europe, I'm gonna start relating. Hold on.
それが旅行鳩を記した一番古くて確かな記録。まあ、私も本で知った知識だけど。
What? No, I haven't. What? Okay, what the
太陽
hell?
を隠してそのおびただしい数で森を覆って雪のように糞を落としていく光景なんて今じゃもう夢物語でしょうね。
See, what's cool is, every... I don't say if it's every day or not, but there's like a fuckload of crows outside that sit around the house, around the roofs of the apartments around here, or the houses around here, to a certain point at night, and then they'll fly into the forest that's straight across from us, fly into the forest, and then they sleep there for the night, and do whatever, I don't know, at some point, before they come back and fly around here again. It's super sick. So I've kind of seen this kind of sight or view of like a bunch of fucking birds. I have seen, and it's cool as shit. It's super cool. Your grandchildren or your grand will probably say this about B. if that's the case with bees, then then we're not making it that far. If the bees ever go extinct, we're not making it that far. I appreciate the optimism, G2. I really do, but we're not making it that far if the bees are gone. We're not making it.
でも当時の人にとっては悪夢だった。
A nightmare.
旅行馬と一羽一羽は美しいフォルムをしていても、それだけの数が集まれば、それはもう暴力なんだから。
That's fair. If I had a child, I'd force him to like Tsukihime. I don't care which character he related to, or she, but I would force him to like Tsukihime. I think that'd be my first mission. Yeah. The second they have reading comprehension, English reading comprehension of that, I would force them to read Tsukihime. Yeah. And it relates to Tono. Which one? Which one? That's the question. Which one? That's not good. Relates to Tono? Oh god, which one? Yeah, that'd be my first order of business. The second they have reading comprehension, bitch, you're reading Tsukihime. I don't want no ifs or buts, you're reading the Tsukihime. The original, of course, and then the remake. Because Red Garden still isn't out yet, so you can't read that.
彼らはその時点では森を破壊し、人間を脅かす悪魔のような存在だった。
God, look at that, that's so pretty! Damn! That's so cool! Yo, hold on, you're right, fuck people. I hate them. Fuck!
営装地は 10km にまで及んで、1コロニーにつき5万羽近い鳥の鳴き声が響いたのよ。
Yo, people suck.
一瞬にして風景を変えるほどの鳥の群れと、世界を覆うほどの鳴き声。冒険家たちが救んだのもうなずけるわね。
That's a skill issue.
一つの住処に5万羽
Amazing. So you're trailed off as he attempted to count the number with his digits. You could barely count the number of people in the crowd outside the station. This would be far beyond his capacity. Sojiro cannot count past 10. Let's be real.
でもそんな数の鳥を人間の手でどうやって
By existing.
ええ、当時誰もがそう思ったんでしょうね。
Ah, so what the fuck happened?
でも話は簡単だったの。人間にとって旅行馬とは脅威でもあったけど、同時に安価な実りでもあったから。
Cheap commodity?
渡り鳥の胸肉は美味しいでしょ？よく鍛えられてるから。
Oh. Oh. And around this time period, we had guns, didn't we? It was powder guns, but we had guns. Oh.
そんな食材が空に向かって鉄砲を撃つだけでバタバタと落ちてきたとしたら、あなたはどうする？
Yeah. All guns, no brains.
まあ、身も蓋もないことを言えば、旅行馬とって鳥は簡単にお金にできる生き物だった。
The sin of greed wins again. Or capitalism, I don't know. You can say capitalism wins again, because that involves money. And this is about money now. And eating food. So gluttony and capitalism wins again.
かくして、狩りは延々と続けられた。
And they didn't stop to think, maybe we should let the birds populate. Capitalism wasn't invented yet, just greed. For now.
落ちた鳥は羽をむしられて、塩漬けの樽に押し込まれて、次々と出荷された。
And because they said, oh, there's like 5 billion of these bitches, we'll be fine, we'll never run out. Uh-huh.
それはもう狩りですらなかった。ただの消費。人間側は労働の実感も作業の手間すら感じなくなっていた。その頃、旅行馬とは 1は1セントで手に入れることができたんだって。ここで言うならたった1円。ほんと信じられる？その国最小の通貨1枚で売買される命がこの地球にはあったなんて。
Nasu, what the fuck? Why you... What the fuck? This is literally an infinite food and money glitch. We're geniuses. God, fucking clueless meme. Bro, clueless. Society, clueless. Every time. Nasu, what the fuck? I'm just trying to enjoy my relaxing Mahoyo session. I didn't need a reminder of the cruelty of man. What? I didn't need a reminder of how cruel man can be. I didn't need that. But okay, thanks. Kamara spoke as if reciting from a textbook. Voice nevertheless had a certain darkness to it. Was it pity for the slain birds? Or disgust for a fellow man? Either way, the passenger pigeon's fate was a cruel joke carried out by humanity. Typical, some might say. Poor soldier had yet to comprehend just how typical that side of humanity was.
けど、それはまだまだ序の口で、本番は19世紀に入ってからだった。
Oh, we're just gonna fucking start it, boys! Fucking let's do this!
人間の旅行バト狩りはますます熱狂していった。
Oh, this is on the fucking prelims.
学校で習ったでしょ？ゴールドラッシュ。南北戦争を経て、アメリカ合衆国は急激に成長していく。
Oh.
西欧からの移民は増え続け、1870年には4000万もの人口に達していたわ。そんな移民たちの胃袋と財布を満たす材料として、旅行バトは最高の獲物だった。
Because they were big and cheap. Birds were big size or decent size and cost fucking pennies.
で、もっと最悪なことに、人間は工夫する生き物だった。
Oh, it gets worse. Nasu, how does it get worse? How?
彼らはより早く、より多く、より簡単に旅行バトを乱獲する手段を競い合った。
Oh. It became a sport now. Oh.
目をつぶした鳩をおとりにして集団を誘い込んで1日で1万羽以上捕らえたやつさえいた。それでも彼らは乱獲に疑問すら持たなかった。繁殖と狩猟のバランスは誰が見ても明らかに狂っていたのに。
She was doing everything she could to speak in calm, measured tones. Sojiro, meanwhile, was completely enraptured by her words. Being raised in the mountains, it was by no means a happy story for him. Right now, he was more interested in knowing why it ever happened in the first place.
それ一方的すぎないか？旅行バトだって数が減ってくれば人間には近寄らないんじゃ。
It's not that simple, Sojiro.
そこが彼らの不幸だったのよ。旅行バトは繁殖力が非常に弱くて自衛手段を持たない鳥だった。大群で暮らすこと、それだけが彼らの身を守る手段だったの。彼らが50億の王国を築けたのはそれまで天敵がいなかったからなんでしょうね。先住民であるインディアンも彼らを乱獲することはなかったというし。
Which is because they didn't have a means to do so. But yeah.
けど入植者たちは自然のサイクルには点で疎かった。
Our own worst enemy.
あのおびただしい数の鳥が絶滅するなんて夢にも思わなかった。
Man. That's what I have to say, just man. That's cool, man.
旅行バトにしたら晴天の霹靂よ。まさか何世紀も遅れて海の向こうから天敵がやってくるなんて。そうして1896年、人間はようやく熱狂を冷ますほどの現実に直面したわ。
No one ever imagined in their wildest dreams that a huge planet could get hot. Yeah.
たった たの25万羽。それが確認された旅行鳩の総数。何もかも手遅れよ。急いで保護法が作られたけど、人間の習慣はそう簡単には変わらないわ。あるいは狩人たちはこう思ったのかもしれない。まだ25万羽もいるじゃないか。1000羽や2000羽ぐらいなら独り占めしても構わないだろうって。
Oh, I'll just have one more. Right, that can't hurt. We'll have one more passenger pigeon. That won't hurt. Just the rest will be fine. Just one more. Just one more. Okay, maybe one more. That's not gonna hurt the economy, right? Right. No, that's not gonna hurt the ecosystem at all. No, just one more.
そうしてハンターたちは当時最新の技術、電報で旅行鳩たちの所在を知らせ合って、実に20万羽の旅行鳩を仕留め、4万羽を傷つけた。生き延びたのは5000羽だけ。この時点で彼らは野生で生きられる種ではなくなったのよ。
Soldier's face sunk into a scowl, only able to survive in the wild. He knew all too well what that phrase meant. No wild animal can last long on its own. An animal can survive without a sufficiently large population of their fellow kind and sufficient feeding ground to support the group. Strength for their massive numbers was all the passenger pigeons ever had. So once that was gone, they were as good as extinct.
それで旅行鳩はどうなったんだ？
I assume the rest got shot down as well?
最後に保護された旅行鳩はたったの3羽。
Oh, good.
シンシナティの動物園ではオス2羽、メス1羽の旅行鳩が飼育されたけど、1年でオスたちは死んじゃったわ。
In that case, there's no point keeping the last one.
残されたのはメス1羽だけ。その時点で彼女は地上で最も孤独な生き物になった。名前はマーサ。
And that's why it's called Martha. Okay. I'm feeling somber and like sad over a bird. Come on. What the fuck? It's a bird. It's not just a bird. It's more than just a bird.
北アメリカを旅する鳥たちの最後の1羽でありながら、ただの一度も空を飛ぶことができなかったカゴの鳥。結局29年で彼女はその命を終えたわ。1914年9月1日午後1時。一つの種が終わる時間がここまで正確に残っている例は今のところこれだけよ。
Okay. The story of 5 billion deaths had finally come to an end. Birds had been swallowed up by the machinations of human civilization. Kumar had intended to show her sympathy for the lost species. The emotional impact had clearly been all but lost in Sojiro.
意外。できるだけ私的に語ったつもりだけど、受け悪いみたい。
Fucking not on me.
山育ちのあなたには憤慨者の話だと思ったのに。
いや、すごい話だったけど、整理がつかなくて。当時の人たちは自分たちの手で減らしておいたのに、なんで最後は保護したのかって。
Alright, Sojiro. Moisture blanked at him, eyebrows raised high. What he'd like meant to ask was why humans would protect the last of our species. They themselves had hunted into extinction. Mark could hardly be blamed for her bewilderment. Having been raised in the city, she failed to recognize the danger inherent in his cluelessness. He felt neither anger towards humans, for the base selfishness, nor sympathy for the birds, remained in their natural habitat even at the cost of their lives. His upbringing had not provided him with the necessary sense of self-righteousness to produce feelings in either direction.
相変わらずよくわかんないやつ。
Nope.
まあ私が言いたかったのは、どんなに強く美しく見えても居場所から追われた生き物は儚いってこと。
An animal can be as strong as they fucking want to be. But then comes the gun, and it doesn't matter.
しずきくん、あなたが見た鳥はその最後の一羽かもしれないわよ。
And with that, their idle conversation came to an end. It was time for their shifts to begin, and Sojiro was the first to head off.
らしくない。何熱く語ってたんだろう私。
How little I know about you? You're right, that's not like you at all. What remained in the park after Sojiro left? Martha, the last of her species. She had been referring to a blue bird when she mentioned Martha, but
やめやめ。珍しいから特別視するとかバカみたいだし。
she went back of her head, partly angered herself for getting involved in something that was none of her business. She and Sojiro were not even in the same class at school. He was a total stranger as far as she was concerned. The more stuff bothered her, the more she felt compelled to investigate it. It was a personal quirk of hers, and no reason she had gotten so worked up about the passenger pigeons. Kamar's well-groomed brow furrowed. She had only spoken to Soldier to make sure he was doing okay at the man bear. Or maybe it was that she had been strangely drawn to him. The more they spoke, the more she felt drawn to him.
まあ見てて頼りないってのが一番だろうけど、話してみるとしっかりしすぎてるのよね彼。
In a way, yeah. With her mother complained, she recalled their conversation upon parting.
で、少しは街に慣れた？
To which he had given a weak shake of his head.
全然。何にせよ、覚えなくちゃいけないことが多すぎて。
Trying his best to keep up with the overwhelming amount of new information every day. However, despite his apparent naivety and frailty, he was in fact trying to learn everything he could about his new surroundings. At the same, there was no reason it needed to be so overwhelming in the first place. Due to his own naivety's subordinate frame of mind, that he felt compelled to memorize each and every detail.
どうだろう。素直っていうのはちょっと違うと思うよ。単にそれがいいことか悪いことかまだ分かってないだけかもしれないし。
He awkwardly claimed.
そうね。でももしかしたらそもそも。
Poor stopped herself mid-train of thought, deciding to instead wave goodbye and take her leave. Nani? Oh. She sighed aloud every time she replayed the scene in her head. The convenience store started in 5 minutes. Give herself a light slap on the face in an effort to forget their conversation. Remind herself that she had neither the energy to worry about other people's problems nor an obligation to do so. She had her own concerns saving up enough money for college, for example. Fighting against her parents' opposition every night was draining enough. There's no room for burdening herself with other students' issues.
でももしかしたらそもそもか。
Just maybe. It's not like her to get so tongue-tied. She thought to herself under a strange smile.
ほんとはっきり言ってやればよかった。
Hmm.
あなたは単にそういうのに関わる気がこれっぽっちもないんじゃないのかって。
He really did annoy her. Now in a fairly bad mood, she left the park in a huff. Sojiro entered the drawing room after work with a gift of sardines for his roommates. He came face to face with Alice sitting on the sofa.
や、こんばんはアリス。
あ Sense of familiarity to be able to say I'm home when entering the mansion still eluded Sojiro. He went straight to the kitchen to fill a bucket with water to keep the sardines fresh. The icy stare on his back sent him anxiously to the refrigerator instead.
台所にバケツはダメなんだな。
No buckets. Calmly accepted the change in plans, he shoved the sardines into the fridge and peeked back into a drawing room.
アリス、青崎は？
さあ、自分の部屋にいるか出かけているんでしょう。
And the goat is here. The reply was curt. Now then got to work cleaning the kitchen. There's nothing in particular he wanted to say to her, but also sensed that it would not be a good idea to start up a conversation needlessly. He tidied up the sink area, washed the cutting board, wiped down the knives, and put away the cutlery so they could be easily found. Black eyes monitored every action in this streamlined workflow. A rhythm that even the most seasoned housekeeper would be envious of. He would sure notice her gaze before too long. He bent over to store a large pot under the sink when it happened. He began to stand back up, locked eyes with Alice, and then... Neko? Oh, it's a bird. What is it? It has a voice now? What happened? Why the bird got a voice now? We can make another move. He felt something slam into the back of his head. Oh, mate, you got a problem? A bright shock of blue. What it was without looking. Could be the mansion's blue robin.
洋館に戻ってくるなり、コマ鳥に呼び出される。
Why does it speak now? What happened? And why do I love it? Such a mother under his breath. A situation that made Soja feel like complaining. Are we just gonna accept that? Oh, we're just gonna accept the bird speaks now. Alright. Robin chirped in its shrill tone. You see, this little creature that loved to attack Sojiro, so was the greatest of the mansion's many wonders. And with good reason.
舐めてるっすね。自分コマドリだって舐めてるっすね。ところで、鶏鍋ってどういうことっすか？それ美味しいんすか？今度見舞ってほしいっす。
I always spoke, you just don't remember it. Wait, now I'm second guessing myself. Wait a minute, hold the fuck on, wait. No, that bitch chirped. That thing used to chirp always. It never. No, that didn't. That bird did not speak before. What happened? But no, don't think I'm better than you. Actually, like so. Soldier had an inkling of what the bird was getting at. Or is it a way to convey in the story that Soldier is understanding the bird more, therefore letting us understand the bird? Is that what it is? Because that wouldn't be the first time something like that has happened in like a game or a movie or something. For someone raised in the mountains, this was an utter nightmare. Animals were not supposed to be able to talk. Then again, having lived in the mountains for over a decade, he did sometimes feel like he could understand what birds were trying to say. It was just his imagination, but sometimes he thought they even saw him as a friend. That was not the case with this bird. Soldier had a realist's attitude toward wild animals as a result of being so familiar with them, in contrast to the ever mysterious humans who lived in the city.
しかし、現実だ。
Yeah. He wanted to deny the reality he was facing. Could not help but recall Kumari's story. He had said to try and be nice to the bird the next time he saw it. According to her, any rare or one-of-a-kind creature must accordingly feel very lonely.
座れって言ってるのに仕方っすか？
So its favorite word is mate. Got it.
あーでも椅子ないっすねここ。じゃあ立ってるっす。小坊主だけに廊下に立ってるのがお似合いっす。あれ？今うまいこと言ったんすかね自分。
Very clever. Bird purred to itself on the telephone receiver, seemingly worn out from all the flapping. Sojiro was dumbfounded. Listening in silence to the bird's chatter was his way of expressing his denial.
自分長いっす。プロイ歴長いっすよ。
Uh-huh.
マイ女神の頃からアリスさんに仕えてるっす。なんで青いかとかどうでもいいっす。
Don't ask why. Alright, I'm not gonna ask.
特技はズバリ探偵役と被害者役。でも探偵である自分が真っ先にコロコロするんで、誰が自分を殺したか結局誰もわからないっす。
What the fuck are you talking about?
プロイ、待ってくれ。それには聞き覚えがある。プロイって何なんだ？
何なんだと言われても困るっす。
Is you asking what I is? Yes.
エロいとか役いいとかの最上級じゃないっすか？
What? Neither one of them? Thusly, the conversation began between the two most powerless residents of the Kwanji estate. Humankind and birdkind, able to understand one another after all. Sojiro was tired of letting the bird get to him, fully aware that ignoring it took more energy than it was worth. In a sense of resignation, by the time he finally did make an attempt to interject, both parties' guards were firmly down. Sojiro was focused on how rare the bird was, while Robin was focused on the showdown with his rival that was to be eliminated at all costs.
いいっすよ、細けいことは。そんなことよりマイ天使アリスさんの話をするっす。
Your knickers in the twist. Okay. Uh-oh.
なんと、アリスって天使なのか？
Don't take him for serious. It was an impressive sign of progress that he did not need to ask what an angel was.
ヒルっす。自分にとって天使のような存在ってことっす。下界の喧騒とか自分の言葉をガン無視するところとかマジ天使。
Hey, bruv, an angel. So why do I feel like if this was dubbed in English, that bird is gonna have a heavy English accent? Or something of the sort. It did that, it's got to.
アリスさんは神聖不可侵にして冷酷非道。マイ女神であったところの母君とはちょっと毛色が違うっす。
Mm-hmm.
正直母君ちょっと育て方間違ったっすね。
そうか。そりゃアリスにもお母さんはいるんだよな。
Not anymore, I assume.
この家にはいないようだけど。
イエス。悲しいことに見まかられたっす。あの頃は前衛の鳥が鳴いたっす。アリスさんに負けないぐらい美しかったっす。あとでアルバムとか見るっすか？6ペンスで手を打つっすよ。
What? Hold, I'm reading this. I'm reading this correctly. The bitch got pictures of Alice's mom? What? Robin is an actual menace to society. Yeah, I can tell! But he's goated.
いや、そういうのは本人の許しがないと。
But he's goated. Menace he may be, but goated he is. Sojiro said earnestly as he tilted his head. That shit at Neko or someone is not. Honestly, while Neko arc has their moments in the Teach Me CL Senseis, where they're funny. The Neko arc can be funny, alright? Neko arc can be genuinely funny at times. But Robin's funnier. The reason for his unease was also due to the fact that he had grown more interested in Alice than before. Despite his detached and passive attitude, he was still a young man like any other after all.
イエス。それはそうっすね。
Mm-hmm.
お前シャバ像の割にいいこと言うっす。人の過去花とかみだりにしちゃいけないっす。
You shouldn't. Bad
と
bird.
ころでアリスさんの子供時代の話とかしていいっすか？自分シャバ像の知らねえアリスさんを赤裸々にアピールして精神的上位に立ちたいっす。
No.
あ、いや、だからそういう話は。
No! Stop!
安心しろっす。 アリスさんには黙っておいてやるっすから。
Rabbit and I don't want to know nothing.
まずはアリスに自分とアリスさんが初めて出会った時のメモリーを聞くっすよ。アリスさん、ああ見えて友達一人しかいなかったっすから、もっぱら自分が話し相手っつうか。
Listen, Bird, if Soldier wants to know about Alice, it's gonna be from Alice herself.
ほら、壁相手にカコンカコンってピンポン玉打ち返すゲーム、あんな感じっす。アリスさんのメモリーはおよそ14年分。じゃあ1年目から行くっすよ。
いや、だから。
行くっすよ。
Stop! Stop!
誰も自分を止められないっす。
No! Oh, for fuck. This bird was trouble. The word bird brain had taken on a whole new meaning to Sojiro. If he was stuck here listening any longer, I think he might hear something he would not be able to unhear.
すまない。そろそろいいかな。
Leave, Sojiro. With his hand, he attempted to flee to the attic above the second floor.
ちょ、待つっす。ここからがいいところなのになんで去るっすか。スカーレット・オハラっすか。激動の主人公気取りっすか。
Scarlet O'Hara? Huh?
そのあたり自分なんか納得いかないっす。まだうちに入ったばかりの新参者がなんでアリスさんの視点を独り占めしてるっすか。許せないっすけど、その秘訣を教えてほしいっす。切実に。自分本気出したらすごいっすよ。
何？
What? I've come up the stairs already, so the quicker retrace his steps.
君、今のはどういう。
だから、アリスさん好きあらばお前を見てるっす。
It's not for the reason you think, Robin, trust me.
思い出したっすよ。そもそも自分、熱視線でサーチされてるからって突き上がるなと釘刺しに来たんす。
He's using Cockney slangs. Many of his phrases won't make sense without knowing it, at least as far as the localization is concerned. So if he makes like a pun or something, if he makes like a pun or something, it's not gonna make sense basically. Like the Alco sardine joke. That's why he's saying weird phrases. So like the sardine joke, because it's a weird way of because it's a way they speak, it's not gonna make sense. Mince pies. Yeah, that does not make sense. To me, that doesn't make sense. But I'm sure that means eyes. I mean, I could have guessed that. With the sentence structure, she's looking you over with that burn look at her mince pies. I could have guessed they meant eyes. I could have guessed my way, but yeah, it doesn't make as much sense. Oh, British slang. Oh. I think Chris would be good at this. I think part of its meaning comes from rhyme.
だいたいその字は何度も自分に助けられてるっす。アリスさんの命令がなかったら今頃その字鏡の中でおだぶつっす。これなんすかね。人間の感情とかわかんないっすけど、魚辺に里とか書くっすかね。
What? I'm sorry, what? Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then Moby Dick, obviously, I get that. Yeah. Okay.
助けられてるって俺が。
Moby Dick sick.
まあ殺そうとしてるのもアリスさんっすけどね。アリスさんはこう言ったっす。彼が鏡の中に迷い込みそうになったら助けてあげて、危険なものには近寄らないように誘導もしてあげて。でも思い上がらないことね、しずきくん。別にあんたのことが心配なわけじゃ無理だ。
And that's the death of Robin. He truly was a wonderful bluebird. And he'd be dearly missed. It happened in a flash. A swift, unhesitant strike of her hand. Alice squashed the bird right then and there as it sat on the telephone receiver stand in the foyer. Her pressed palm continued to pin it down. The bird's crushed form resembled a bright rubber ball. What a child might play with. Best character for 10 minutes. You're goddamn right. Oh, no! Bird's alive! Take that back. Alright, never mind. False alarm, bird's alive. Never mind, we're good. Still best character. 11 minutes from now.
そして痛い。体中の血液がくちばしからこう右方向に流れていく感覚とか。
We raised a mighty uproar.
これの言うことは気にしないで。
You fucking got it, Alice. You got it. Let's return to the drawing room, taking the bird with her. Her dark silhouette cloaked in shadow was the complete opposite of the godly little bird. Anyway, time for bed, Sojiro. So full in his arms, he stood alone, no less confused than before, then whispered.
こうしてますます疑問は増えていくのだった。
Up at the night sky visible through the skylight. Is that the end? That's the end. Not a perfect way to end it. Okay. Alright. Let me save again. Yeah. That's the end for today. With all things Mahoyo. What a great chapter to end on. Some bird lore. Told how humans are shit. And Robin. That's about how I want to end my streams personally. That's a preferred way to end my streams personally. Another just fantastic section. Again. I don't know how the fuck these visual novels do it. I don't know. I can't fathom how I would think these would bore the hell out of me when I love them. I don't know what I was thinking when I said I would not enjoy visual novels. God, what was I thinking? They are just... I mean, maybe it's because I'm picking really good ones. Maybe that's what it is. I assume that's what it is. I'm picking really good ones. Maybe. I don't know. But that's gonna do it for this time. Hope you all enjoyed. I most definitely did. This was hilarious. I love this. Marfa, very good bonus chapter. Yeah, we'll do it for this time. So have a good day, evening, or night, wherever you are, in the whole wide world. And hope to see each and every single one of you, same time, same place, tomorrow, next time. Alright, bye-bye!